Hey guys, welcome back to Overtakes. This is Misfit, and I'm going to be running a little solo mission today. We had a little problem with our recording last night, and it didn't work. We had a little technical issues here and there, and it was very glitchy, so we decided to, since I was available, I could do a solo one just to get you guys up to date on what's going on with playoffs and stage playoffs, and give you our picks for Saturday, and we will come back at you tonight. Late night, and we'll have something, a little playoff preview for you for the stage playoffs, and then we'll do a little wrap up on Sunday night before I head off to Ireland and London for 2 weeks, and you'll be in the hands of Kel for a couple weeks, and I'm sure he'll have some stuff for you, but let's get to it. So last night we had the Houston Outlaws and the Seoul Dynasty falling out of the final playoff races, by losing their 2 matches. Houston looked like they were going to get gifted a win by New York, but New York decided it was time to stop screwing around and to finish the job. Just came out and played a decent game. Not their best game, but they were just too much for Houston, and they won in 5 maps. What can you say from here? Houston, they honestly brought it upon themselves. There were matches they should have won that they didn't earlier in the stage and in, stage 3, stage 2, where they were kind of off with the dive thing. And looking to the future for them, they're going to have to look at a few things on their team, and I'm sure they'll address them because they have good coaches, good upper management, and they'll figure it out. So next year should be a different story for Houston, I think. Let's move on to Seoul. Now, Seoul had to beat the Gladiators. They looked okay at first. I thought they were going to do it and prove my theory of them sandbagging the whole season, which is kind of a joke, but, proving that to be true. What happened was that the Gladiators proved that they're a superior team to them right now in every aspect of the game. They came out, Surefour owned Fleta, which, you don't say that too often. That was something we were looking for in this match, to see what Surefour did against an elite Widow, and he pretty much was kicking his ass. The Gladiators came out without Fissure, with iRemix, and didn't miss a beat. So they got something going on. They have a lot of positive energy. They have a great play style right now that's working with this meta, and their guys are playing at an elite level. I know a lot of you are, not believing in the Gladiators right now because of what you saw in the first 2 stages, but you know what? I wouldn't buy into that. Buy into what's going on right now. They're playing great. Lastly, for the day, we had the Valiant losing to Dallas, who pretty much locked themselves into the stage playoffs with a 3-1 win. They looked really good, like they had the whole stage. They came out, they beat the Valiant, and right now they are sitting in the 4 spot for the stage playoffs, 1 map ahead of Houston, who's done for the week, and 3 maps ahead of Philly. So in order for Philly to get into the stage playoffs, they have to do a 4-0 sweep tonight. And, it's possible, but they're playing London. It's not like they're playing Florida or Shanghai or something like that. So going in, Philadelphia has a shot. London really needs to, they're in the 5-hole for the regular league playoffs, overall. And London, I'm sure, wants to win and pull themselves back up into 4th. Pull themselves back up into 4th because they can't get 3rd because Boston is 25-14, and I don't think they're going to lose to the Mayhem tonight. It's possible, but let's be honest, I doubt it's going to happen. The Mayhem will show up tonight, though. I have faith in my boys that they will show up. We'll get to that later. The only other news we had going on was the contracts and the offseason, how the offseason is going to work for the Overwatch League. So they did come up with a really cool concept, similar to, as we've said before, Nate Answer is a big baseball fan. So he came up with the 2-way player that can play in Contenders and play in the Overwatch League. Very similar to having minor league players in baseball that can go up and down between AAA or AA and the majors. So you're going to have that. That's going to be big for some guys that play in this league that don't get any play time. We saw a lot of guys that didn't get a sniff, like Mendo Sakai, IDD QD, guys like that didn't get really even into a match at all for, over the course of 40 games. They didn't get a chance to even play once. So it'll be good for those guys. It'll be good if guys get hurt. And they also made a key thing, in my opinion. You have to have a minimum of 8 players on your Overwatch League roster. So you have to have 2 subs. You can't go in like the Mayhem with 6 players, or like Shanghai did with 7, and the Gladiators did, I think, with 7 to start the season. You got to have backups. And they're saying you have to have a minimum of 2. So that's going to be good. It's going to help out with things like fatigue, injuries, and just seeing who's playing well and who's not, and just being able to move guys in and out. So, me and Kel will get more into depth in that when we get back from the break after Stage 4 is over, and we'll dive into that. I'm sure we'll do a good amount of conversation on that and what it's going to mean to the league and some certain teams, and just overall for the overall league in general. So let's get to today's matches, which, we're in the last day of the regular season. It's been crazy. It's been a great ride. It's been fun. And the matches tonight really don't have much implications other than the London Fusion match. It started off at 4 our time here, Eastern time. So this afternoon, we have Shanghai and San Francisco, and we have Boston and Florida as well. We'll talk about Philadelphia and London for a good portion of our match discussion today. But first, I'll hit on the San Francisco, Shanghai, and Boston Mayhem match. So San Francisco and Shanghai, nothing to talk about really at all. There is nothing going on in this match. There's no implications. The only thing I want to say, and hate me if you will, San Francisco, do not lay down. Do not do some kind of grade school T-ball bullshit and give them a win just because you don't want your friends to go 0-40. Look, this is a professional league. Play the game, play it out. If Shanghai beats you, they beat you. Don't screw around. Give them your best shot. They'll give you theirs, and we'll see what happens at the end. Enough with that. Really don't have an inner sights for that one, other than can Shanghai win, which is doubtful. We both got San Francisco in this one. So Boston and Florida is next. Boston has a little bit to play for, not really that much. Mostly fine-tuning and getting ready for the playoffs, going out in a positive note, that kind of thing. Florida, my boys, going to wrap up a season that did not go too well, but you know what? Let's take it out on a positive note. My fan perspective right now, guys. I want to see you guys come out. I want to see Swoosh lead the charge, and we need an epic entrance for the final match of the regular season. It's on you guys. That's the only pressure you guys got. Give us a great entrance. It's the last time we're going to see you this year until next January, and we don't even know if we're going to see you guys all together on the same team or whatever's going to happen. So let's make it epic, all right, guys? And then come out and beat Boston. Let's just do that. And just end on a positive note. I'm behind you no matter what, and I'm actually picking you in this match. I'm going to take my guys for the sole reason. It's the last time I get to see him. The last time I get to pick the Mayhem for the year. So we're going to go with them in this match. Kel's going with Boston. In our sights for Florida and Boston. In our sights is going to be Mr. Logix, as always. Gonna watch Logix and see what he does. And we're also going to watch Swoosh. We're going to watch Swoosh to see if he comes out and leads the charge with some kind of great entrance, because he has to. Anyway, now on to Philadelphia and London. So we got Philadelphia and London. Last match that matters for the stage playoffs and for the final overall season playoffs. Philadelphia coming into this did not look good against the Outlaws. They got beat, and they put themselves in a bad position. As far as this match goes, it does mean something to London. Philadelphia is pretty much locked in to the final stage playoffs, or to the finals playoffs, and they're one out on the stage playoffs. But it looks like Dallas has that locked up. So today, what we got going on here, Philadelphia, they need to end on a positive note, get their mojo back. And honestly, Kel and I, in the last day or so, have been discussing the fact that they did not play Fraggy in a meta that is Reinhardt heavy. Yes, Sato's good, but if you take the match against Houston, now if you look at the Lijiang Tower match, or the Lijiang Tower game, look at the play that Sato had. Muma owned him. Fraggy is the better Reinhardt, period. I know they want this Sato and Hotba thing to work. They think that it's doing positive things. It's not terrible. Look, Fraggy's not the best Winston. That has been blatantly obvious since day one of this league, but he is a top tier Reinhardt. Probably second or third best in the league behind, Fissure and maybe, or Fate for, the Valiant and Gesture. He's up in that range with his Reinhardt. But they decided not to play him, and it came back to bite him in the ass, because Sato did okay, but Muma killed him. They need to work this out. They need to work their tank line out. They need to get it solidified, because it's really crippling them right now. And also their supports were not great against Houston, who we said, going into that match, that's going to be the determining factor. Boombox and Raucus outplayed him. So Boombox has got to get it up, and they need to figure out what they're doing with their main tank. Now, London, on the other hand, they played Florida, who, not on their level. We're being honest here. But you know what? London came out, Birdring looked fantastic, Gesture looked fantastic. They're starting to get back to where they were, or they could be just going up and down like they have been the whole damn stage. I mean, they've been kind of a mess, but you know what? They need to get their stuff together, much like Philadelphia, to get ready for the playoffs. There's going to be a month of practice time. London also needs to win and boost themselves back up in the 4th spot. So this is going to be an interesting match. Now, one of the things that London needs to do in this, if they want to win, is they need to get over the Oasis thing. They beat Florida, but it was 99-99 on every point. And to be brutally honest, Florida should have beat them on that. They just need to get it out of their head, go in, play Overwatch, because they're playing Philadelphia after the halftime break. That's their first map. They need to get in there, because there's no saying that it's not going to be in the playoff map pool, because we haven't seen that yet. I wouldn't put it past somebody to throw it in there to not necessarily hurt London, but to make it harder for certain teams, because some teams are not good on that map. Let's just be honest. And London is leading the charge at being terrible at that. So they need to get over that. Philadelphia just needs to play a complete game. They can't have these wonky games where they're playing great on one map, then they're getting smashed on the next one. They have to have a complete match, great play, go into the playoffs, and be ready for what comes at them. Get their tank situation solidified, whether you're going to have Fraggy or Sato, the two combos that they're doing with those two. And if you want to switch them out and sub them out on certain maps where it's going to be beneficial to have Sato playing, doing his Winston thing, or having Fraggy play on the Reinhardt with Poco, and of course Sato with Hotba, because they have these set up into two distinct tank lines. They need to figure that out. That's going to be after this match, because they are pretty much in. Everybody's 2 games behind them. So they just need to solidify some things for this. Now, they still can get into the stage playoffs. I believe if they have to 4-0 London, which I doubt's going to happen. Even if they don't, they have some stuff to work on between now and the playoff starting. London still needs this match quite a bit, just to move up in the standings rankings for the final playoffs. But it's not as important of a game for them as far as stage, because they're out of the stage playoffs and all that stuff. So anyway, in our sights for this game, we are going to have, for Philadelphia, we're watching the tanks again. We want to see what they are exactly doing. I just talked about that for about 2 or 3 minutes, about how they need to get things rolling, solidify what they're doing with their tanks, when they're playing them, where they're playing them, and all that kind of thing. I want to see what they do on this, and so does Kel. Something we discussed with that. And for London, Kel is going with in his sights on London. He's going with Gesture. He looked better. He had a lot of good solid tank play. He had some big crucial plays on Reinhardt and on Winston. He was just on fire the whole match against Florida, which you can say what you want about them playing Florida, but you know what? It did matter. They needed some confidence back. They needed to get their gameplay solidified, and Gesture did that, and he wants to see if Gesture can continue this. Now, I want to go with Badosin, because as Puckett called him, he is the love child of Jonak and Pine, the way he plays Zenyatta, which is the best description. I want to see, he was going on some weird flanks with Zenyatta. He was playing lurking Zenyatta, around corners and destroying, Florida, and, doing what you're supposed to do in Zenyatta as well. He wasn't just running around like he was on Tracer or something like that, which he also did, which was also terrifying to see that he's that good on Tracer. But anyway, I want to see some of that. I want to see Badosin, see what he does. He's one of the betters in the odds in the league. He's really fun to watch. And he's going to be in my sights for that one. Okay, so that is going to do it for the Saturday program, guys. Don't forget to like, hit a subscribe. We are grateful for all of the subscriptions, all the view time, and you guys checking us out and all that stuff for the whole regular season. And it has been fun and it's been great. And we love all the support you guys have given us. And we're going to keep coming at you with some quality stuff, throughout the playoffs and in the off season too. We're going to do some other stuff. We're not going away, even though the Overwatch League is going to be, done for the year in, a month or so. We're still going to be around. We're still going to give you some quality content. We're still going to, talk to you guys about, the future of Overwatch League, season 2 and all that kind of stuff. We'll have all that stuff coming at you. I'm personally going to be on a 2-week break. I'm going to Ireland and to London. You're going to be in Kel's hands for that time. I'm sure he'll have some stuff for you, maybe some streaming and some, some other videos and that kind of thing. And then we'll be back. I'll be ready to go. I'll be posting some stuff. I'm doing some cool things over in Ireland and England. I'll be throwing some things up on social media, so get ready for that. I just got one word to say for you guys to get ready for. Hanzo. You'll see. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. We will talk to you later on tonight after the matches, and we have the stage and the regular playoffs solidified. You have a good afternoon. Enjoy the matches, and we will talk to you later.